Hello YouTube, today we're going to be reviewing the Biostar TA970 AM3 Plus motherboard. So let's get into this. Taking a look at the box, it's pretty straightforward. Tells you what you want to know: USB 3, SATA 3, DDR2 2000 OC, Gigabyte LAN, Blu-ray, solid capacitors, and then pretty much the same on the side. And on the back, if you just want to pause that and read, go right ahead. So what you're going to get with it is pretty standard: a manual, the drivers, and 2 SATA 3 cables. Now if we take a quick look at the I/O shield, we can just see it's pretty basic. Nothing to that. Now let's take a look at the connectors it has. We have 2 PS2s, USB 2, USB 2, USB 3, 2 more USB 2s, Ethernet LAN, and our audio jacks, which is supported of Realtek 7.1 surround sound. Up on the top of the board there is a 4-pin power connector for your CPU that supports up to 140 watt processors. We have our 4-pin CPU header, our 4 RAM slots, which is supported of dual channel DDR3. We have another screw holes. We have our 24 pin for the motherboard connector. We have 2 SATA 6 gigabytes per second, SATA 3. We have our chipset with a nice heatsink. We have PCI 2.0 times 1, PCI 2.0 times 16, another times 1, another times 16, and 2 PCIs. And then we have, of course, our CPU socket down there, and then we have another heatsink. I believe those are the VRMs. And then we have some more connectors. We have various things, which I'm not quite certain what they are. USB, COM, USB 1, USB 2. Then we have our speakers and our indicators for the case. We have 4 more, SATA 3. Another fan. Right here we have the BIOS chip. Jumper with, I believe that's to reset the BIOS. And then that's pretty much all for that. Then yeah, and there's also another fan header on there, right there. In terms of the RAM overclocking, now it does support DDR3 2000 OC, which I'm not sure that means it doesn't support DDR2 2000 or what. I'm not quite sure, but I can tell you I had 1600 megahertz RAM. I tried overclocking to 1866 in the BIOS, and it just wouldn't start up. So overclocking your RAM, well, you're only going to get a 400 megahertz increase from the RAM, so it's probably not really worth it. So if you're really wanting to overclock your RAM as far as you can get, up to like 3000 megahertz, this motherboard is not going to be able to do that. Now to just go through the technical specifications on Newegg's website, it just says the chipset right there, the RAM 240 pins, sorry. 64 gigabytes of RAM, dual channel. The PCI slots, one runs in ×4 just due to the chipset and CPU limitations. The SATA, it does support RAID of 0, 1, 5, and 10. There's no onboard video chipset, so there's no HDMI, VGA, or DVI built into the motherboard. But if you have a graphics card, that should be no problem. 8-channel Realtek audio, that's what it's right there. Up to 1000 megabytes, Ethernet LAN, right there's LAN chipset, and then some more information. So yeah, that's pretty much up to 140 watt processor, UEFI BIOS. That's pretty much all for that. Some other features Biostar has on this motherboard is just Blu-ray audio, moisture-proof PCB, 5-phase power design, and solid capacitors, ESD protection, OCOV, OH protection. So that's pretty much for voltage and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it does have a few alright features that a lot of motherboards do have, so you're not getting it left out with any of this. If you're looking for a solid basic motherboard with just about everything you could want on it, this is good. I couldn't find a single issue besides the fact that it didn't have a USB 3 front header. Placement's pretty good. There was plenty of things. Supports Crossfire X. It has 2 USB 3s, which is enough for some people. It was good enough for me. 4 RAM slots. Good overclocking. More fan headers. And then yeah, that's pretty much for that. And I can't complain about it. Any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down and I'll try my best to answer them. So that's pretty much all for that. Leave a few links in the description below in case you feel like checking them out. That's pretty much all for that. Have a great day and see you guys later.